So you want to build a DJ system. Well, today I'm going to talk about putting together something of decent quality. Not something cheap that some kid would buy because he saw it cheap at your big box retailer, because there's a lot of that out there. People see the cheapest thing, they get excited, they run out and they buy it, and then they don't understand why it doesn't sound good or doesn't last for a long time. So we're going to talk about putting an audio system together, a lighting system. We're also going to establish a budget. So let's do that right away. Minimum budget, let's say, is going to be on the low end, let's say $2,500 to $3,000. Now that might sound like a lot of money to some people, and if it does and you want to build a decent system, you're going to either have to build it one little piece at a time, or you're going to have to save up until you have enough dough to put it together. I put a lot of emphasis on quality audio for a reason, and it's not because I feel like it's an easy upsell, because it's not. You can be in a client meeting and tell them that you have XYZ brand of speaker and XYZ brand of mixing board and how much better it is than the next DJs, and they're not going to care. They're going to figure, well, don't all DJs kind of have the same sort of thing? Where this comes in handy is when you're actually at the gig. And even if you're an average DJ doing an average job, you're going to sound better than the average DJ. You're going to sound better than the last DJ they heard, who was just as good as you, but there was a nicer quality to what you had out there. You sounded nice. They liked it. And they could say to themselves, I want to get that guy's card. Not only that, but your end result as far as your overall experience to your client is going to be nice. Speakers. Back in the day, we used to buy the best speakers we felt like we could buy, and then we'd have to buy an amp to kind of match them. Now, a lot of the times, we bought the wrong amp for the speakers, but we didn't even know it. I was guilty of it several times. I hardly ever had the right amp for my speakers because I didn't understand it. Today, it's beautiful. It's all about powered speakers. The super cool thing about powered speakers is all that power versus how much watts the speakers need is already done for you internally on good quality stuff. When you get into your cheaper brands, compromises have been made, hence the price difference. When you're looking at speakers, I would recommend spending most of your money on the speakers. Just plain and simple. That's where the biggest piece of your budget should go. 12-inch top cabs are the best way to go for that punchy dance music, and if you're playing music for dances, I think that's your best option. 12-inch speakers produce a better mid-bass than a 15-inch speaker. They cost less and they weigh less, so it's a pretty good value. A quick word about subwoofers. Powered subwoofers is the way to go if you're going to get one, but I don't necessarily think that everyone needs a subwoofer. Not right away anyway, or maybe not at all. Those 12-inch tops, like I said, produce really nice mid-bass. That's what most of the dance music is. If you're going to get into a lot of hip-hop music, then yeah, you're probably going to want a sub, because that's the driving sound of hip-hop, is that 100 dB and below sub bass. So go ahead and put that in your budget. You need a subwoofer if that's what you're going to do. Otherwise, if you're not playing hip-hop all night long, you're probably okay with just a good set of top cabs. Now that we have our speakers handled, we need to go ahead and get a mixing board or a MIDI controller, depending on what you want to do. Now, I have no opinion whether or not you have CDs or MP3s on a computer, or time-coded vinyl, or old-school vinyl. However you want to DJ, do it your way. My recommendation would be, if you're going to use something with a computer, get something with a built-in sound card. A good quality built-in sound card, and do not skimp on your mixing board or MIDI controller. If you go MIDI controller, you've got two platters. You can do things like virtual DJ without a problem. It's kind of like old school DJing with two decks. You can scratch, you can do all kinds of stuff. Lighting is something that I feel like you can add to as you go. And the cool thing about lighting is, there are no rules. But here are some suggestions I have for you. Look for bang for the buck fixtures, such as par or wash LED fixtures. I got a bar running back here. Looks really cool on this totem and on the wall. You can do so much with a wash fixture. Little LEDs, RGBs, you get tri-LEDs, whatever you want to get. You can use them to uplight, you can use them to wash a dance floor, you can use them to backlight things if you have white scrim on your system. Very, very versatile. They can flash to the music, they can fade for slow dances. Probably the most versatile fixture that you'll ever own. So I would suggest getting yourself a couple of those, at least to start, and you can get them really inexpensive. Some really nice stuff out right now that doesn't cost a lot of money at all. You might want to have something that projects an effect, like maybe a moonflower to put on the ceiling or the dance floor, however you'd like to do it. Alternately, the cluster lasers are really cool. They're a big favorite of a lot of people. They don't cost a lot of money at all, and they spread light everywhere. Just be careful with these. Sometimes photographers hate them for weddings, so you might want to have them on when they're doing real crucial pictures. So a small lighting arsenal, maybe 3 or 4 lights to start with, is fine as long as they're the right lights. Don't worry so much about moving heads and scanners and all that right away. You could do that later. And most of that stuff really only looks the bomb with fog. Concentrate on fixtures that look great without fog, because most places you can't even run fog anymore. So there's a quick video for you. I mentioned no products in this video, and I'm just throwing it out there for those of you who either are building a system for the first time, or those of you who haven't put a system together in a lot of years. And I know there's a lot of you out there. I was you not too long ago. My system was, I think, 12 years old when I redid it. So that's it. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.